And we're here now. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Today, man, we have a special guest. We got George Cross in the building. Landon, thank you for hopping on, bro. Welcome, you guys. Thank you guys for coming on the pod and shooting the shit with me for a little while, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I've been thinking of how I was going to start this because I feel like you threw a curveball at me earlier, but I thought it was pretty cool. So you are someone. Most of the guys that I talk to, um, they come from the drag world and they move on over to like roll racing and so on and so forth. But with you, it was actually the opposite. You started roll racing and then you got into the drag world.
Yep.
So how was that transition for you? How did that work out for you? How did you get to that?
Oh, when I moved here to Virginia, we I ran into a bunch of people, and they had a bunch of like it was a bunch of Honda Civics and 240s, and they all took off out of the parking lot I had rode into, and I kind of just followed them, and they literally drove all around the city just racing each other up and down the highway. And before I knew it, that's kind of what I did every weekend with them guys.
Really?
Yep, it was interesting there.
So I saw you post some clips. Were you like, how long have you been riding like motorcycles? Because I saw you ripping wheelies and stuff like that. You post some old videos and stuff like that. I was curious.
Probably about 9 years now.
Yeah.
Yep,
How long have you owned your shop?
5.
5?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you work on motorcycles or were you a mechanic prior to, or the 5 years is when you started?
So as soon as I started racing, I started, when shit breaks, you got to figure out how to fix it. So um,
100%.
we had a bunch of us. We used to all go to this one of our friends' house and fix our cars in the park in his garage. And before you knew it, he's let me use his garage to fix everybody else's cars. And uh, I did that, probably helping people out for a couple of years. And I'm like, man, I need to start getting paid for this. So I probably since I was 20, so 14 years, I've been turning wrenches.
So, with that being said, what keeps you going? What keeps you going in this as far as, keep wanting to keep working on bikes and always trying to progress? What is it that kept you going all these years? Because, there's some guys that, they lose their love, they lose their passion, that kind of thing. I'm always curious about that.
I learn something new every day, and the more I learn, the more potential I get, and the more I see that I can do. And I keep breaking limits personally that I didn't even know existed in me. So just the love of seeing what I can transform, anything into, really is what probably keeps pushing me.
So from going to drag to roll racing and so on and so forth, what do you prefer? Do you have a preference on racing style anyway?
The Pro Series that I'm racing now at XDA seems to be the most challenging riding I've ever done in my life. So that has took all of my attention.
I see you're pretty committed because that's a hell of a trailer you got as well.
Well,
That's commitment. When you get something like that, yeah, that's commitment. That's pretty solid commitment if you ask me.
so I was blessed to have one of my buddies let me borrow his trailer for the last 2 years I raced, and I can probably think of one or two times that we went to the drag strip and there was room to fit another bike in the trailer. So when I went to buy mine, I got a little bit bigger than his, but the idea is to everywhere I go be able to make money so that I can afford to enjoy the hobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay. So that serves multiple purposes for you then at that point.
Yeah, so like a lot of people that race XDA, they live all over. So it's very common for people to bring a bike to XDA and send it to the builder, tuner, shop, or whatever home with them. And then in between the two races, the next race, they do whatever work they were going to agreed upon, and then we bring the bike back to them, and it works where they don't really have to go out of their way, and it's a win-win for both parties usually. So,
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And so is this in XDA, how long have you been in the racing in XDA?
This is my third year actually competing. I've been to the track many times to, with followed some friends up there to have some fun, but this will be my third season competing.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is the season that you're looking to solidify yourself and really have a name out there? Or do you think
This
you've been building towards that?
this is my year. We're gonna go out there and we're gonna make some noise this year. They're gonna know we were there for sure.
Yeah. Oh man. Jesus. All right, George. So when do you want to do the reveal? Do you want to do it now? I'm kind of excited. I want the crowd to see the shit, but it's up to you, bro. We can do it later. We can do it
No,
now.
yeah. We can show them. So I've been
Show the people,
working all
man.
winter
Show
on
the
this thing.
people.
I've been working all winter on this thing. I'm pretty excited about it. It turned out great.
Sheesh. Oh my God, bro. Man. What gen is that?
It's a Gen 2. If you don't know me personally, you didn't even know this was even a thing. But when you go to the track, man, everybody's got a black Busa, and I've always wanted a blue bike, a really pretty one. I've had a couple of them, but this one really my buddy painted this. He really set it off. This thing's beautiful.
That's a beautiful blue, bro. I really listen, man. And I'm not a booster guy, okay? So, Reed, what's going on, my brother? Reed, thank you for joining in. Listen, I'm not a booster guy by any means, but there's some really nice ones, bro. And you built yourself a really nice machine, bro. Can you get into like some of the basics of the build? How long did it take? When did you acquire the bike? That kind of deal?
So let's see. So a little over 3 years ago, when I fully committed to do so. When I fully committed to race, I was kind of looking for an already together bike so that I could just buy something and be ready to go racing.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who built this bike for Real Street, and he never made it to the track to race Real Street with it, and I ended up getting it from him. Took it home and took it all apart, took all the stuff off it I didn't really want, and me and my buddy Dre put a Max ECU on it, and this thing's been transforming ever since.
Oh man, huh? So you get the bike. You right off the gate, you were already building it for a specific purpose, right? So do you think that you will focus on a Busa for that platform, for the XDA platform, or will you play around with the idea of maybe a different platform for that when you feel like you've accomplished what you wanted to accomplish with the Busa?
I feel like there's so much money invested into just building one bike at the level that this bike is built that to switch platforms I'd be like starting over. You got to relearn the platform, relearn getting it down the track, figure out all, it looks like it set me backwards to do another platform to race Real Street with.
Listen, Reaper, I don't want to hear none of this bullshit about your Booster Nation. I think Reaper is the cause of why people are really starting to push the platform on roll racing. I talk too much shit, and now I hear all these boosters coming out on roll racing. It's making me a little nervous, but whatever. It is what it is. I got people like Landon. I'll have Landon come out and pick on the boosters for me. I'm too old for this shit. But so I understand the money thing, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're like Reaper has like 3 fucking boosters, one drag bike and like God knows what else he has. But it's a lot, he's a through and through booster guy like you. What made you choose that platform?
So looking over the rules when I decided to commit to it, the Busa platform kept my wheelbase so short that I would still be able to use the bike on the street and kind of bounce between both. That's what really attracted me to getting that is I knew that I can take the bike and go down the track strip and then literally make a setting change in the computer and take it right out on the highway and run it out there.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So you were trying to do both for a little while.
Yeah, my love for the street is always going to be there. It's tougher to get out there and run with these guys, but it's always going to have my heart.
Do you have another bike for the street?
So one of my customers had me build another Turbo Booster, the one that I took down to Florida this year. So that's kind of like the shop turbo bike. So if I need to go handle something, I could just go to his house and grab it, and I'm good to go.
Uh, so are you okay? Okay. So are you would you consider yourself are you willing to bet some money on that bike if need be or if the right person called you out, so on and so forth?
So I'll bet money, but I'm not. I'm one of them. I'd rather not. I want to go out there and just kind of have fun with it. That's kind of a getaway for me. It's not a serious sport. If I put some money in it, I'm going to do it in the pro side of things. But I'll lock in small bets. But I'm not. You ain't going to see me out here like with my balls dragging the ground like Brett and chasing them and Smeedy.
Shout out to Brett, Chase, Amidi, and all them, man. Listen, you guys are in a different place, man, to be doing what the fuck you guys are doing.
Them guys spend some money on racing. I'm not there yet.
Bro, listen, the amount of cash I saw getting thrown around in Vegas was wild. It
Yeah.
was wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. These guys don't come to play around. It's it puts things into perspective on like, what is your purpose? Because some guys, man, they love to race, but this is like the real adrenaline comes with the gamble.
Oh yeah, man. I'll tell you, I never seen a money counter come out of somebody's truck. So I went down and around Brett, Chase, and Will. That I've been to a lot of street racing and a lot of racing with a lot of money. But I went down to Florida about probably 4 years ago, and they had like a $40,000 pot locked in, and money counters were coming out of the trucks, and that's a little bit. That's next level for sure.
They had a money counter, bro?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, who else is gonna count all that?
I didn't see a fucking money counter over in Vegas. Now you got me fucked up. Now I'm wondering what the fuck.
They need to step it up over on that side then. They need to step it up.
You've been going to Miami for quite some time, huh?
I've been 3 times. Only the first time I went, everybody local was going down there, and I had a drag race. And shit, where was it? Forget where it was at. I went down to a track down there. I just kind of sidestepped to go check out, see what was going on. And the next year, I brought a bike to try and see what I could do. I ended up shattering my transmission over and over again.
And that's the story that Dave was saying to me on my interview with him, where you rebuilt that shit and you had it running down the highway the next day.
Yeah, so I got down there on Thursday night. I unloaded the bike, spun the tire in second gear. When it went to shift to third gear, it broke transmission. Saturday, I had the bike back together, ride it, made a test hit. Everything was good. I put some boost in it. The bike went 222 mile an hour. I said, all right, now we're going to turn it up and race somebody. And fuck the transmission up again.
Now we're going to turn it up. 222 and you want to turn it up, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was only on like probably the bike was good for 28 pounds. That was a 15-pound tune with a very long boost curve in it. So it was just kind of let's see if the bike will go down the road, figure it out. The road couldn't hold. I didn't have the right chassis for that road. So that's kind of what I went down there this year for, because I felt like I had it figured out. I wanted to go see if I was right.
How'd that work out for you?
I was able to get the bike down the road much better. We had a race locked in. Cops ended up, they got us. So they towed my truck and trailer, and I was lucky enough to be able to get it out that same night. If they would have caught us again, we would have been walking home. So we ended up calling it a weekend on that point. So I didn't actually get any racing in, but I did do another. I went 224 mile an hour on that bike with the same tune up. We were ready to turn it up to go racing, but the weekend got cut a little short on us.
Jesus Christ, 224, bro. See, Landon, you didn't tell me that his shit got towed, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was the whole point of me hiding in the bushes.
I
If
thought
you
you were
watch
just hiding
Landon's,
because you got pulled over.
No, that was the same story.
so listen to this. This is actually pretty funny. So when the cops were coming, we seen them coming down the road. So we pushed Landon in the trailer and told him just to hold on. We were gonna hop in the truck and just drive away. One of our buddies locked us in with his car, and his bike was out of the trailer, and he took off with the keys of the car. So we were stuck. So Landon's in the trailer, and like the trailer's closed up, we're good, whatever. Right before they were gonna tow us, they decided they wanted to go in the trailer and check inventory. Now, I had already got them to agree to let me get my truck out, so I didn't want to throw a curveball that we've been hiding somebody in the trailer this whole fucking time.
Yeah.
So I had texted Landon to tell him to jump out the side door in a second. And he jumped out the side door as I opened the back door, so they're all looking in there to see the bikes. And here Landon dives into the fucking bushes out of the trailer. And that's how he ended up over there. So
Yeah, good times.
yeah, that was a rather well played event.
It doesn't
for
get
us.
any smoother than that, bro. Landon, good timing, bro, because
I
anything
had a
else,
GoPro on.
they probably would have felt like you were treating them like they were fucking stupid. Everybody probably would have gotten arrested.
Absolutely.
In a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah. We pulled it
You
off,
guys,
though.
so what do you guys think about Miami? Do you think that's like not even a thought for you guys from now on, or what do you guys think about that?
Right now, no, it's not a thought at all.
It doesn't seem like it's really worth it at this point, guys. You know what I mean? Like, you know, for example, they pulled you guys over, they looked in the back, they were checking VINs and all that, right? Like they ran everybody's plates and all that shit.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You know, I don't. It's getting harder and harder over there. I feel like to throw that big ass meat that Miami was known for. Which kind of sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. You just have to find another spot. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, because it's inconvenient to go to the further away spot, everybody wants to race at the closest spot to everything. And it's like from going to all the different spots, yeah, they might do their weekends there in smaller crowds and get away with it. But when you got people from all over the country, it's too many people, and it's too many people going up and down that road. So I feel like that attracts a lot of attention. We stayed out at 44 that weekend a whole day, and we didn't see one bike.
Really?
We tested 6 bikes. We only had 3 people, so we were trying to get everything ready. But on that Friday, we didn't see one bike the whole day. So it was too far away.
When I went the year prior to, we were in Chrome and 44.
Yeah, I was down there.
Maybe that's an option to explore. You know what I mean? Keeping the bike somewhere else, finding a spot, because the year that I was there prior to, it was trucks everywhere. Bro. Everywhere. How are you gonna get away with it? It's just a matter of time, I feel like, before the cops come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Everybody wants to watch the racing, and anywhere there's a spectator spot, it's difficult to make an event with that many people, because you sit that many people on the side of the road. Karen's gonna drive by. It's just a matter of when.
100%. You can't hide from the Karens, man. The Karens are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
You can't hide from the Karens. Would you guys entertain Vegas?
It's too far for me.
Yeah.
I won't try to make it.
Gotcha.
The traveling part isn't the hard part for me. It's getting the time off work would be the hard part for me.
Gotcha.
I'd take like 2 weeks off work because it's going to be a week just to drive out there and back. It's going to be like a 3-day trip, so 6 days for just there and back.
I think it's like 27 hours from Florida to get to Vegas. It's a 27-hour trip, I believe, from what the guys because I mean all the guys that come from Florida look like shit the minute they get to Vegas. They don't look too healthy when they get to Vegas. You know, it's definitely a certain level of focus, and like you really have to want to like be there to take that ride. I think that I'll go every year because honestly, Landon, I think even you, George, if you ever have that kind of time, it's a haul, bro. But that's some shit that you won't experience anywhere on the East Coast. It's
Yeah, I
impossible.
agree with that. It's just tough for me because I have three kids, two of them small, one of them's in school.
Ah,
So it's
gotcha,
just,
gotcha.
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
that's another reason why I've been so heavy on the drag race and stuff the last couple of years because at the end of the day, they can come to the track with me. And it's
Yeah,
not dangerous. It's, it makes sense.
yeah. It could be more of a family thing there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It'll be more of a family thing there. But you will. So anything around your area? Are there any specific events within the East Coast that you do look forward to doing yourself, George? Roll race as far as?
Not anymore this year. I go to some of the North Carolina meets usually, but I need to really stay focused on my own race program. I don't have a race program out roll racing right now for myself, so it's tough
So
for me to make time for both.
no, 100%. You have Landon for that anyway. He's a troller. He's good at that. He'll be all right.
That's why he's here.
Yeah.
He's my streets representation right now.
Hey, listen, he did good over there in Florida, man. You know, that was some impressive shit for a stock motorbike. Um, about your program now, do you have any sponsorships? Or are you looking for sponsorships as far as your drag race bike goes?
Sponsors, it's cost a lot of money to race, so anybody willing to put in towards the program is great. One of my friends sponsored me some. They call it sponsored racer parking for XDA. So I get to park up front with the big dogs and hang my banners on the side of the track. I can sell stuff at the track now, so I can promote there. Precision Turbos just sponsored me this year.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, they got me hooked up with a killer turbo. Can't wait to try this thing out. So, but those are my two biggest. I have a lot of little help from a lot of people, which matters a lot. So
Hey,
it's
man,
great.
that whole thing is really expensive. So I'm with you. So one of my buddies that he raced a all-wheel drive Honda for a while, and coming out of pocket for that or front-wheel drive class when he was front-wheel drive in the beginning, it's really expensive, man. It gets the traveling, multiple motors. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely a commitment that a lot of people won't. They're not. They don't want to do by themselves anyway. So anybody that's out there that's looking to sponsor, hit up my guy George, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's gonna do very well this year out there. You know, are you looking to take it all home, man? When you compete, are you looking to really get it done this year?
I mean, that's the goal for anybody that's competing professionally. So we all want to win.
So,
Hoping to get in the winner's circle at least once.
so let me ask you this, right? When you're racing, bro, all parts of drag racing is important, right? But that 60 is that the gauge for knowing how the bike is gonna perform in that event? Is that 60 foot?
So from my platform's perspective, the 330 is more important than the 60 foot.
Mm.
From a general drag racing standpoint, the 60 foot is everything. But our power rider bikes are so short. The 60 foot might not always be what it needs to be, but the 330 is really what. If you're not where you need to be by the 330, then you lost the race.
Okay. So with that being said, right? First course of action when you make your first test at the track, what are you looking for besides that 330? If that's something you could share as far as, you know, the course of action when you get to the track and stuff like that?
As far as this specific setup goes, is I've got almost a completely different chassis, completely different turbo kit, completely different power van. So this right now we got to get to the track and just get down the track before we
Okay,
can
you're still in the
concentrate.
testing phases. You're still in the testing phases of the bike.
Yeah, I haven't ridden the bike at all with the new turbo kit. So
So you completely ride yourself, no jockeys?
correct.
Oh shit. Well, you did real good against Chris, and I know Chris is like fucking 130 or something like that, isn't he? Something?
He's pretty light. I'm pretty sure he's racing Real Street this year as well. He at least he said he was building a Real Street bike. So
No shit, really.
curious to see what he comes out with and how he does.
That's interesting. I wonder what made him choose that class to join in, you know. But so when you get there, right, these events, are they 2-day events, right? They're usually a weekend, right? The XDA events?
So for me, XDA is from Thursday morning to Sunday night. So Thursdays they have private test sessions. So I usually always go to the private test sessions. Friday, most of the day Friday is testing. And I think it's like 5 or 6 o'clock they start doing pro qualifying. Saturdays for us is all qualifying, and then Sundays is eliminations.
Oh, wow, huh? So it's literally like a 3-4 day event.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was literally like a weekend type of deal, and you know, you get it done relatively quickly. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you don't have to show up for the testing, but I've tested, like I go to other tracks and try to test my bike, and it just doesn't perform the same as it does in that environment. So that for me, getting there on Thursday to get the tune-up dialed in is the best method for myself. So, and then it gives me, instead of going to the track a bunch of weekends in between the races, you know, it kind of gives me
It's
that
pretty crucial, I
break
bet.
from work. You know, it's like my little vacation for
You
myself
guys
once a
there,
month.
it looks like you guys froze.
Let's go there. You hear me? I mean, we're all. You can't hear us?
You guys there?
Yeah.
I think we're losing connection here, so I'm not too sure. We might have to jump back on.
Can you hear me? You.
Damn. I'm gonna jump back on, guys. Let me see if I get this squared away here.